And Laura McGhie is going to be here shortly with a sport, and it's all happening tonight in Moscow, isn't it? Scotland playing right now.
Yes, Euro 2020 qualifier against Russia in Moscow. When I came down the stairs, it was 0-0. It is now 3-0 to Russia.
What are you talking about? When did you come down the stairs?
not that long ago. It feels like a lifetime, but not that long ago.
What?
Yeah, Scotland defended fairly well in the first half. They were playing actually quite well. Second half, it's obviously not gone well for them. So later on in the programme, I will be speaking to Scottish international Stephen Naismith and former Scotland player Stephen Thompson to dissect what's happened.
Yeah,
God, I wish Stephen Naismith was there tonight. Oh well, thank you very much indeed. Still time.
Thank you.
And staying with sport, do you remember this?
News.
Right, Laura's here now with the sport, and given what you told us a few minutes ago, Laura, I fear the news is not going to be good. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't want to break the bad news to you, but
You're going to have to.
It's not good, sorry. Good evening. We start with football this evening, and it's been a bad night in Moscow for Scotland in Euro 2020 qualifying against Russia, losing 4-0. In a moment, we'll be dissecting what happened with these two, but first of all, let's take a look at the action. Well, in a row. Well, joining me now to talk about tonight's game is Scotland international Stephen Naismith and former Scotland player Stephen Thompson. Stephen, I'll come to you first. Was tonight a disaster? Because on paper, it might be, but this is not what they're aiming for, is it?
No, and that's the one thing you need to remember here is it's a game that it didn't mean too much in terms of the group and the qualification. It was more about what the manager's going to see in the players, and we need to be ready for these games come March, and this is the first game for boys to stake a claim, but it'll probably be the disappointment in the way we lost the goals.
Is it a disaster, Tomo?
It's not a disaster. It's highly predictable, in my opinion. I think the game at home at Hampden against Russia, we were poor. Tonight, we helping anybody.
Stephen, have you, in your opinion, have you seen any signs of improvement from this game, even considering the reverse match?
I think what we're going to need to improve.
And Tomo, there was all this chat about Lawrence Shankland, but didn't quite make any statement tonight.
It was good that he got to show what his true worth is.
Fourth defeat in a row. Football fans always start asking questions when they hear these defeats in a row. Should we be asking questions, or are they just building up to these playoffs? Tom, I think we're going to see the table in a minute, but Scotland are now fifth. What do we...
Says there are games coming up we can win. We need to win them convincingly. We need to build a bit of confidence amongst ourselves and amongst the Tartan Army.
Is that reflective of where we should be, of how well
No, it's
playing?
not.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Once Stephen's back in the team, we'll be all right.
That's it, we're all waiting for you to come
back. A lot of the players are playing at a very high level. It's more about getting that connection between the players, between the system, and that's what we've got to work on now till these big games come March.
Well, here's hoping for better performances in the future. Thank you very much for both coming in and talking tonight. Sports Scene is on later with full highlights and analysis from these two and Michael Stewart on the BBC Scotland channel at 11 p.m. While in the other games this evening, let's take a look at Reno. The American Simone Biles has won another World Gymnastics title, her 16th in all and 22nd medal in all at the Championships. She's already been
To do this.
Tennis, and British number 2 Heather Watson is through to the quarter-finals of the Tianjin Open in China with her biggest win in more than 2 years. She dropped 3 games in beating the... That's all your sport for me tonight. I'm sorry I couldn't bring a more positive result.
Do you know what? I want to go into the weekend feeling like Stephen Thompson. We're below Cyprus and Kazakhstan, but it's all right because we're better than San Marino. That's the spirit, Tomo.
That is the spirit, for sure.
Excellent as the weekend arrives, but disappointing, eh?
It is disappointing, especially... I mean, they played so well in the first half, and I cannot believe when I came downstairs they had lost 3 goals in about 3 minutes.
You know, I just don't think you can defend for 90 minutes. You're going to get cut out sooner or later, but not 3 times on the hop. Anyway, there we are. Let's hope for better news next week
indeed.
in some form
I'll hope
or
to bring
another.
some.
In fact, let's hope for better news this weekend. The back end